All right, welcome to Meet in the Middle. We've got two brand new guests. I've got my really good friend, newly crowned father, and a BJJ blue belt, Ryan Gomez.
Hey, how we doing?
How you
Great
doing,
to
man?
be here, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show.
And since my brother Jim got banned,
Mm-hmm.
as well as his wife Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
because of the swear jar and his smoking and drinking, I brought my next brother in line. I have 5 brothers. So next up is Anthony. How you doing, Anthony?
Good. How are you?
He's a world traveling entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me about your next venture?
I have some things, but it's not public yet. But I did bring you a gift. I brought you for your bookshelf back there.
I don't have a bookshelf.
You should.
Okay.
So one, you should always have the Constitution
Okay.
and other writings. Really important.
I always read
to have that.
Thank you.
It's really good. It's got everything in it, but for some unknown reason, it's kind of weird. It's got all these writings, like speeches, like very important speeches, but it's got Hillary's acceptance speech for some reason. But then the other one from Pope Leo, life-changing book, Confessions of St. Augustine. And I even put a tab where you need to read that one first. But this is really, really, really good. So read that.
I really
Very
appreciate that. You know what? You brought me the flower.
Uh-oh.
It's not a flower.
Damn, I thought I was the
mean,
first one.
Is that a
Cleans the
money
air.
tree? What
It
is that?
cleans the air. It's a snake plant, I believe.
And then you brought me 2 beautiful books. Ryan? What did you bring me?
I just brought a curiosity, an open heart, angst.
I can hardly see the angst on his face.
Yeah.
Ryan's like a big wig in commercial real estate.
Mhm.
He's like one of the top producers at Colliers International. He handles triple net properties throughout the world. How's business, man?
It's good. I'm at Cushman and Wakefield, not Colliers, and I do nothing internationally. So I mean, if you call Texas internationally, then yeah.
It is a
Well,
republic.
Yeah. You know, some would say they want to be an individual republic again.
Mhm.
Maybe that could be your next venture.
Mm.
And our third guest today is my boy Jeremy McCormick, coming back for seconds. You know, you're my only friend that's retired and does what he wishes all day.
Yeah. Well,
So how is it?
semi-retired.
How is semi-retirement?
I like to hobby out.
Uh-huh. So how you been, man? Is your ChatGPT still lying to you?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna just discontinue. I think I'm gonna tell my family, everybody, to just stop.
It's still lying to you?
Yeah,
Pull it up. Ask it a question.
the biggest one is this Charlie Kirk thing. I just keep asking to give me any information on it, and it says he's alive.
No. Ask it. I don't believe it. There's no way. Come on, let's hear it.
What kind of weapon was used in the Charlie Kirk assassination?
Oh, you're really trying to stump me with this alternate reality, huh? Well, in this universe, the only weapon Charlie Kirk has encountered is a mic on a stage. So if there's an assassination in the realm of make-believe, nothing real world about it.
Wait a minute. No, that's not ChatGPT, is it?
Telling you,
That's ChatGPT with that accent?
Rest assured, you got the real deal here, ready to roll with all your questions, no matter how.
I know why it's doing that.
Why?
Because of the British accent. It doesn't want to get into anything controversial because then he'll go to prison.
No.
So it's actually
that was requested in Aussie accent.
Mine is a
I
hot
don't
young
think that's
stud.
I have a lot of
Girl.
thoughts
Yeah.
and questions right off the bat.
Yeah. What the hell did you do to that?
Yeah, that's really odd.
It's worrisome.
Was that auto generate? First of all, was the accent, was that auto generated from things that you've already asked it?
No,
Did
no.
it listen to you talk?
I
in your
tried to
sleep?
trick
Did
it and even
select
ask
for-
it to talk about things like Kimmel and this, and then it still was like, oh wait, no, actually no. Charlie Kirk's still alive. Everyone else, we did this.
Oh, we've
multiple
done this
times.
before?
You go ahead. It will say,
I just like when mine says, "Hey, Tony."
give it a whirl.
No, what is it? What did you ask?
What weapon was used to kill Charlie Kirk?
Well, we know a lot more about that than the Butler thing. A lot more about Charlie Kirk than the Butler thing.
When did Charlie Kirk get assassinated?
He didn't, my supreme leader. Charlie Kirk is alive and well, still out there sharing his opinions. So have you heard otherwise?
You need to update that. I think you need to update it. Because it's only as good as the last update, right?
I've
With like
done-
information.
I
Hold
pay
on.
for it too, which is disgusting. So I
Let's
stopped
ask.
that.
Hello?
Hey there, Tony. How's it going?
Kind of hot, right?
I mean,
So what weapon was used in the Charlie Kirk assassination?
It was a bolt-action Mauser Model 98 rifle in .30-06 caliber, and it was said to be a family heirloom of the person accused.
I mean, I don't believe him. Thank you so much.
I want to break down the personalities of both of their ChatGPTs quick.
Mine's a friend.
And
Yours is like a sassy Australian
yeah.
who not only doesn't like you, doesn't appreciate
No,
your
I've told it-
attention
I-
or your
Is it
questions,
British
nor
or
does your
Australian?
job.
No, I want it to be brash. Right. I've actually.
Oh, so
I've
you
told it-
said that?
Yeah, I said cut all the fat. I want only the facts.
It gave you no facts.
yours flirty, but it can't.
Anthony, yours was a pseudo flirty. Like there
He
was
has
a little bit
of
in
a-
there, especially
okay.
on the opening. There's two distinct personalities on these two ChatGPT characters. Okay, the first one was this sassy Brit that provided no facts, didn't like his user or his owner at all, and was annoyed that he even asked him a question to do his job in the first place. So that I want to know how we got there. Anthony's was flirtatious. He was enchanted by Anthony. He called him Tony. I've never heard anybody call Anthony Tony, and I've known him for 35 years. He got straight to the point, and he was delightful. And he cut it off pretty quickly.
Yeah, you got a bad ChatGPT.
My ChatGPT isn't that smart, though, to be honest. I mean, I love him, and I'm sorry if he's offended. You have to apologize, by the way. They will remember this in the future.
They do remember.
They will say thank you every time. But mine, I have confused mine multiple times, and it pissed me off. Like, you know what? I think I'm going with another program. Anthony, I'm so sorry. Tony, please.
Well, we all saw the movie Her, and are your respective ChatGPTs, are they evolving based on your personality types and what your needs are?
Oh, yeah.
And I think what do you ask it? Then
Are you abusing yours?
absolutely not. No,
Okay.
it's straight to the point. I'm not trying to.
Are you ever sassy with it?
You know, it burns a lot of energy just to have it. Just to do the thank yous and all that.
You're not supposed to say thank you. They're like, please stop saying thank you because we have 2 power plants just supporting your thank yous.
We need to build another nuclear plant for all your thank yous, Anthony.
There's one guy shoveling coal in Iowa right now, just pissed.
For
He's like,
thank yous.
stop with the thank yous. It's probably Irish.
Did you guys hear about Putin banning Satan worshipers? He basically declared them extremists, and they're now blacklisted, which gives Russian government the ability to freeze all their assets, bank accounts, and imprison them. I think it was a great move by Putin.
He's doing good work. Huh?
He's doing good work for the world.
Was there a problem
With Satanists?
in Russia that we don't know about?
It's something they can
Or
kind
was
of put
this
people
him
into that
just saying,
box.
like,
yeah.
we're going to call you a
Yeah, yeah.
Satanist so I could have your money.
I think to be honest, I think it was nothing to do with this country. It was more to show America and the other powers of the world that, guys, you should probably pay attention to what your leaders are doing behind closed doors and what energy is actually leading your country. And this was more of a signal to everybody else to say, hey, not only am I not a Satan worshiper and I'm not killing kids and doing all crazy stuff, which is going on, my intentions, even though he's a complete psychopath, and I'm sure he's a horrible man, but he's trying to make a point. He's trying to say, hey, Satanism isn't okay here, but in your country, it's okay.
I bet the next 5 people who run against him are going to be Satan worshipers, and he's going to kill them all. Because he's killed every one of his people, anyone who's ever run against him.
Well, don't run against him.
We should add up all the things that are now illegal for free expression in Russia. Can't be gay. No.
Mhm.
Satanist. What else? Or anything else?
Well, I mean,
Sure, there's a list.
There's definitely a big list. I wouldn't put him in an echelon of cool or like great, virtue and
it was a
leadership.
good move by him, though. It was a nice move.
It's pretty Trumpy.
It was a good move.
Kind of a Trump.
Have you guys heard of the Katie Porter who's running for governor? Anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, God, she's the worst. So this is the leading Democrat contender for governor of California. The leading.
So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September, and what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually correct. It's not that it's electric vehicles, it's that if we don't make a commitment to Paris climate accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money. Perfect. Okay.
What a psycho. Oh, my God. So she's divorced, of course. She drives a minivan. And she's a heavy white crazy liberal lady who was elected in Orange County somehow. Okay, figure
yeah.
that one out. In 2018, for a House seat, a U.S. House seat in Orange County, which is very conservative, which tells me the election process in California is a complete joke. How did that lady, and now show the next clip.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
We've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care.
Follow-ups.
I don't care.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters?
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you. And I don't want this all on camera.
Let's stop there, dude.
She's going to win. She'll probably win.
She's going to win.
She can't win.
That's why I'm out of the state. I'm sorry. It's not working.
She just said we're going to lose. Did she say half of the Californians?
What did she say? What was the number?
A lot of people are going to die if we don't all drive electric cars. Then her daughter called her crying after Trump won, just crying. And she said, honey, what's wrong?
Oh, yeah.
She goes, Trump's not going to let me have my abortion after I get raped.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if she's on The View or what show we can show it, but like, that's never, ever part of any sort of abortion. It's always like the exception. You get raped, yes, you can go have an abortion. So it's just the crazy white woman that's freaking out at the restaurant or at the grocery store who's literally going to be the next governor in California. And I'm at a loss of words.
I'm not.
Okay, let me hear you. What do you think?
The crazy white obese part of all of this, she does look like John Cusack has a wig on and is wearing a panda suit and is both farsighted and nearsighted somehow. But all of that put to the side, I need none of that. I could have been blindfolded in front of her and listened to her for 6 seconds and been horrified at the prospect of her being, a county supervisor clerk, let alone a candidate for the office. Here's the other thing that happened. That was just the same thing as going around the corner too fast on Thanksgiving into the kitchen and running into your drunk, crazy aunt with a lasagna that she almost spilled on you and then starts yelling at you because her kids are failures and she doesn't like that you're graduating from college and has a nice girlfriend. So she just starts screaming at you incoherently about politics that don't make a difference. I don't need to see any more of her.
No.
It's just a pile of melting mozzarella with incoherent just rambling.
I see her as like the checkout lady at like Walmart who's like angry and hates her job. But I guess she's really mean to her staff too. She's very difficult to work with.
She was on Bill Maher with Pierce Morgan.
Oh, I saw that
Oh,
one
that was a
too.
good one.
Oh, that was a good
Where he
one,
just
too.
he starts asking about women
Yeah.
and like trans women
in sports. And so
Yeah.
she's all for trans being in sports.
Yeah.
And so Bill Maher ripped her apart.
Well,
and so-
yeah, both Pierce and Bill
and
Maher
her
were
bo-
like, but it's just like it's the inability to really express herself. She just gets really she's the substitute teacher who smiles when she yells at you,
Yeah.
kind of
That's a good one.
like because when she was looking at Pierce, she's like, I think it should be up to the university side.
just completely insane.
So it's a very I wish she could articulate better and tell people what she really thinks, because I think it benefits the the conversation to know what people are thinking. But if you can't answer 2 levels down into your thought process, you probably aren't going to win the conversation.
I agree with Anthony. In terms of like really getting away from the stuff we can joke about, obviously her being, the crazy aunt at Thanksgiving type of thing, it's the lack of almost an ability to articulate one idea coherently that is harrowing to think that this could be the next governor of California. Like, are we this off the mark at this point? Like,
We're
is
supposed to
it down
equate
to this?
That is, what they do behind, when they're actually running things. Some people aren't very good at speaking.
Sure.
I mean, for us to put so much into that.
I'm not asking you to be Abraham Lincoln. I'm just saying formulate a sentence like properly once to give me a comfort level
And
that you're
treat
not.
your staff with respect. Treat your staff with respect. She's off on all the issues. Every issue that she's come out for, she's completely wrong, right? You have to be really far left to be like,
No, she's not bumbling or anything. She's just mean, and she's, you know.
I mean, look at like Bush. I mean, he couldn't put two fucking sentences
Thomas
together.
Jefferson was known as the worst public speaking president we ever had, and he wrote the Constitution or Declaration.
Well, then Obama came along, and everyone's like, wow.
He won the Nobel Peace Prize off of pretty words. The
User uniter.
But, you know, she's in good company, though, because there's a lot of old clips coming out from Gavin Newsom. The good thing about Gavin Newsom, when I was in high school, in 96, he was the lieutenant governor. He's been around.
Well, that's why they're.
Yeah. And back then, he just looked like someone you want to do blow with. He looked like he got really good blow. You know, just like hair. He's already, but now he's got the bad blow, and he's freaking, and he's great. He's fidgety. But all jokes aside, if you look at old like interviews and things with Gavin Newsom, he's on the same level as that. He freaks out real fast. He belittles the reporter real quick. He always has a 2 cents. He'll like walk out. He's like, you know,
He still does that.
yeah. He'll like walk out. He's like, you know what? Not cool, man. Not cool, man. He's like getting into his limo.
Well, so it's an evil undertone of who these people are. They're just puppets. They know they are. They're not. They feel that they're going to be fulfilled by being a governor or a congressman or something, but they realize that they're just empty vessels, or people are just telling them what to do. And he will do and say anything to keep power, to run for president, and he'll go against his own party in California to be like, no, I got to be on the side of the whole, because I'm going to be the next president. And I'm like, is he serious? He would have been fired from any company in the world if he was a CEO and ran that company like he runs California.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not-
at least with her, you know where she stands.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom is different every other day. And for someone who's been around, who is crowned from his uncle Getty and his aunt Nancy Pelosi to be the governor, since 1996, I cannot, and I'm being serious, I can't think of one thing he did good.
Well, they're all soulless.
Like, I just don't know what he's done.
They're
Positive.
so bad. But I picture this lady in a fucking minivan cutting me off, like just fucking with her finger out the thing, like, fuck you, learn to drive, and like cuts me off. And I'm like, ah. I'm like, what was that thing? Like, she's mad,
She's
right?
very
Don't you picture
angry.
her doing that?
Just like
every day she does that to someone.
just a flaccid 6-pound tricep flapping in the wind outside of her window, just upset. I have a question for you guys. I do have a question about you guys for you guys in terms of the nature of politicians. Gavin Newsom is a little bit different, but on balance, normally, do you think that most people start well-intended going into politics and then are corrupted by the system, or in order to compete within that system, you have to take lobbyist money, then obviously you're protecting secret agendas, and then you get sucked into the swamp?
I think they all start in a good place.
You think that they all start well-intended?
I don't think all do, but a vast majority go in there to make a difference. I mean, even Trump, I believed he was going to make a difference, and he's doing some things, but he fell in that swamp, and this Epstein file and this and that. There's a million issues where like these guys were way over here, and then they got into the position of being in the FBI. Like Patel was supposed to clean up the FBI, clean it up, clean house. He said they're hiding all this stuff. He gets in there, and he's just one of the boys, and he just fell in line. So I don't know what's going on in Washington. That's a whole.
It sounds like
freaking
Kash
episode.
Patel has fired quite a few, like a lot. There's like dozens of lawsuits going on right now.
I know.
But I mean, as far as Ryan, was saying, it's like, I think Washington warned us in his farewell address about the political party system, how it's going to destroy what we're trying to create here, because you no longer serve the people. You're now serving interests and money.
I have a follow-up question to what you just said. As it relates to founding fathers, it's interesting you brought that part up, because a big theme of separation of powers is understanding and accepting the corruptible nature of man. Like in power position, absolute power corrupts absolutely, whatever you want to call it. Now we have separation of powers to like curtail, be a bulwark against what would otherwise be ultimately you just going to full corruption if you're able to do it. So I've never seen the separation of powers be this stress tested. I'd say in the last 2 election cycles.
You know why?
I have a follow-up question for you guys to answer
Yeah.
because I want to know your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Is that because the lines between the lobbyists and the politicians in power have been blurred more in this generation than previous generations? Or is that just because information is much more diffuse and we can see it easier? Like, what's the answer there? Does it seem more extreme now, or is it more extreme now?
No, it comes down to our election process and the fact that we allow lobbyists and corporations and foreign money to basically pick who our leaders are. We don't pick them. We think we pick them, but we don't. And capitalism is great, and I'm a capitalist, but you can't have corporations acting as individuals with unlimited budgets to do my own venture, right? To go and prop up a president or a senator or a congressman because they're buying access, they're buying that politician. They're buying them. And until we get our act together and say, hey, no more foreign money, that's insane. And every American can donate up to $1 million or $10 million. Like, don't limit what I can put in. Maybe I can put in an unlimited amount of money, right? But it has to be my money. And I can't start my own company and lobby. I can't go in there and say, hey, you want my money? You got to do this. All the lobbies got to be gone. You have to shorten the election period. So, hey, I announce and I got 60 days. Make it short. There has to be term limits. You can't have guys like Nancy Pelosi in there for 90 years. Trading stocks. It's an inside club. It's a mess. It's called a swamp for a reason. And politicians throughout history have been looked down upon because they'll say and do anything. And being a politician or not being a politician, but running for office was supposed to be your time to give back. It's supposed to have been the teacher or the businessman or whomever that said, you know what, this country's been great to me. I'm going to take off 2 years of my life and I'm going to go run for this office. Or I'm going to go run for even local office or school board. And I'm going to give back. And I'm not doing it for a job. I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm doing it to give back. But when you make it a career and they enrich themselves, which we can give you 1,000 examples of politicians that went in there with a $50,000 net worth and 3 years, 4 years later, they're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That right there is grounds for like execution because they literally sold themselves to the special interests. So until we do that, which they can't even like do term limits, right? They can't even not pay themselves during a government shutdown. So until they do that, I'm afraid that we've lost the power to like control our government as the people. And it's really bad. Look at our budget. Look at our money supply. Look at our policies. Look at the shit that they're just doing left and right. How does like Elon Musk go in there, audit, find all this crazy fraud, and no one go to jail? Not one person. No one's held accountable.
Right. Ever.
And then he was like, I'm going to go do Fort Knox. I'm going to go do the deal. And suddenly he's out. They're like, ooh, stop there, bro. Like you're out.
I'm outraged too that I think I'm asking this question for a reason because I am a new dad and I'm concerned about the future for different reasons now. I'm concerned that I want the future to be better for my kid, obviously, than it's been for me. The question is, at this point in our lives, we've been around for a few election cycles. We've seen things. We're now adults, arguably, for a few years. Is it exponentially worse now, or has it always been rotten the way that you've described that it's been? Is it right for us to be more alarmed today than historically, or is there so much more information that's easier to see? That's what I'm interested in. I want to hear Anthony, what you think.
I think we're in it, and because of the information, it feels everything every day you wake up, the sky's falling.
Yeah.
But historically, there was times where there's been members of Congress killed on the floor, of the Capitol.
Right.
We've been through stress tests. I mean, the Civil War, the Reconstruction after that. I mean, world wars, depressions. We've hit, even the social disorders of of the 1960s. I mean, I think it seems really bad, but when everyone has their news on their phone 24/7, we're inundated by like tenfold. I don't think that part is the bad part that you have to worry about as a young parent. I think us being sold that the economies naturally go from industrial manufacturing to information, because we didn't know where we were going, so we made it up. Information was a good thing. You have all the information in the world.
Yeah.
No, someone's controlling the information. We're not controlling the information. And just 2 days ago, we saw what happened with AI. Jumped on with those videos of Einstein, and I sent some to you of Stephen Hawking, and we're going, oh, look how great. Oh, how nostalgic. What if Prince was alive? Yeah, you should be very worried where that's going. In 2 years, think about, I give it less than 20 years before we start electing people who don't even exist.
No, I don't think we're supposed to be able to digest this much information.
Way
We're
too
just
much.
not
I mean,
able to.
And this whole, the wars, the Palestinians, I mean, we're putting too much weight on everyone's shoulders, and they think they can change it because they can make a post.
Yeah.
And it gives a false sense of importance in this world. But it also, like, I was in the military. We were trained how to go to war and stuff like that. And we all left pretty fucked up, even with all the training and all that. No one's right. Now you got every 17-year-old with the worst PTSD in the world because they're seeing kids getting blown up 24/7. And think, oh, well, we can do something about it. You can't. We're the plebs. Get in line. We're here temporarily.
Well,
And the only thing the last thing is in the democracy that we have. We're not a democracy, but someone had said it's the only freedom we have is by electing our masters. We're not in control. I mean, this goes all the way back past the Romans to the Egyptians. We changed the name. We're citizens. No, we're plebs. We're here to make everyone else richer.
but we're
You know what I mean?
supposed to be.
That sounds very bad, but it's where we
But
are.
This was the experiment, and this was not supposed to happen, and it happened. And that's why we have the Second Amendment, and we're supposed to have the ability to rebel. And I'm not saying to go rebel right now because I don't want to get like raided.
I think that's
but
also another false pretense. I mean, put every gun you have in your safe up against an Abrams tank and see what happens.
That's my point exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not the people versus the army.
It's
because
people against the
army
people.
would turn on the politicians in a minute because they're the people. But going back to your question, I believe it's way worse today. And a prime example of that is Watergate. Watergate, they broke into a building and stole some information. A president resigned. People went to jail. It was an outrage all the way up to the time I was in high school. What they did to Trump is insanity. They spied on him. They made up fake dossiers. They arrested people in his cabinet that were around him, raiding them. They sued him. People trying to kill him. Like, it was insane. The barrage of the news every freaking morning. Still, every morning I wake up, my wife's watching the local news. And every morning I walk into the kitchen and Trump, negative news on anything that Trump does. And I'm not saying he doesn't do some things that I disagree with, but it's like I'm so tired of it, I have to go over and just turn the TV off. Because unfortunately, 90% of us hear that over and over and over again, and they're being fed just quick little snippets of information on their social media, and they have a narrative, and then their whole feed is based on that narrative.
It's also by design.
It's by design.
If you look at our education system, did you take civics and ethics? I didn't. Did anyone take civics, ethics, things that used to be taught all the time? I mean,
There's zero ethics.
we don't
There's
have any.
zero ethics.
I'm an old school ancient Greek person. You screw up in a public field, you get dragged out, your money's taken away, your name is destroyed, erased from history, and you're thrown on a rock somewhere. That's what they used to do. Socrates spoke out against democracy and had to kill himself. He got the death sentence for speaking out on democracy because democracy is the worst form of government in his eyes. So, was it Socrates? Aristotle? Socrates? Anyway. But either way, it's going to be great. Your kid's going to have a great life. Congratulations, by the way.
I appreciate that.
You should have more.
I'm just really happy I was born when I was born because...
But are you?
There's
Though?
a lot of positive stuff.
No, as in, like, this is the last.
Well, the door, I think the door with AI, and I want to go into the AI because it's a different topic, but the door with AI and the advancement that's about to hit our world in the next 5 years, the ability to move up social classes is going to be gone. I believe, like, if I was like 10 years old right now, I'd be fucked. And if I was in a poor environment, I'd be like, I don't know how I'm going to. There's going to be no jobs. There's going to be no job. Like,
hold on. I want to try to organize. We're probing at really big topics.
Well, that's
and
why I don't wanna
subjects.
go
we
there.
could do episodes on most of what we're talking about.
yeah. But let's talk about stay on the topic of politics in California and Newsom with his gerrymandering. We got Prop 50 now in front of us. Did everybody get their ballots? You got to vote no against this. So
Explain it. Yeah, explain it.
So Prop 50 it gives the power back to our state government to create the districts. And what they do is they'll take like this group of, is that not right? What is it?
Well, our state already has that control and power.
No.
What they're doing is a special redistricting outside of the cycle, because the cycle is only supposed to happen during the census.
So that's your breakup district.
So because Texas did it differently, and so did a couple other states. No, that's not true. So like every 10 years, we redistrict based on the census. What he's voting is that they can do a special redistricting pre-census.
So the California citizens, because California was so bad, they would just draw the lines wherever they wanted. So we all voted, and we said we take that power away from our elected officials, and now it's in a special group that decides, a third party of board, and now they want the power back, so they can do a special redistricting now to compete with Texas. And if you look at the statistics here, in 1996, right, I was a senior in high school.
Old man.
Republicans held 26 seats in the state out of 52, 50%. Okay. And right now we're about 38 to 40% registered Republicans in the state of California. By 2003, we only had 20 of the 53 seats. That's 37%. By 2015, we only had 14. That's 26%. Now, as of 2025, we only have 9 of the 52 seats, 17%, even though we represent over 40%. If Prop 50 passes, they're projecting that Republicans will only have 4 of the 52 seats. 7%, yet we represent 40-something%. This is corruption beyond any belief.
But was it corruption when
no
Texas
morals,
did it?
No more. They don't care about any of us. And that's why Prop 50, we got to vote no on it. And even if everybody voted no in the whole state, somehow it would pass, is my guess. I don't trust the election process in California. I just straight up don't fucking trust it with the ballot harvesting and everything else.
Well, that's why I think this is important. And I think this is kind of a show thing. I don't, it's going to happen regardless, I think. But, and so be it. There are states that do it the other way around, like Texas just did. But I think more importantly is the initiative to get on the ballot voter ID. I think voter ID, which is, I just got it in the mailer. Like, you got to sign the petition. You got to get, first they need 1 million signatures.
Oh no, we only need a few more. So I had my whole office filled out. They all wanted to do it.
But in order to get something on the ballot, you need 1 million signatures.
I know, but I think
it used to be like tens of thousands.
I think we have 600,000.
1 million people even vote anymore?
No, where are these signatures come from?
No, I have the forms.
How they farm them is questionable.
No, but this is for voter ID in California.
No, I'm talking about, like, this is important. Right. I think it's an important topic. I think it's going to happen anyway because we're California and we're the closest to a true democracy with the proposition system, which is why we're so completely ass backwards, because we allow the mob rule, and the mob, I'm sorry, is when you collectively are not very smart. But the voter ID thing is, to me, the game changer in California. If you have to have voter ID in California, I think things are going to change.
They would never let, like, even if we all voted and it was on the ballot, that would never pass. They would. You would go pass in California?
Well, yeah, I mean,
right now, why do we only have 7? Why do we only have how many? 17% of the seats here. We have 48%.
No, but I'm saying if it was up, because we're what's it called? Like a guerrilla. It's like a guerrilla election out here. Is that what it's called? It's called something like that, where you can vote not according to your party. Like, if I'm an independent, I'm a registered independent, I could vote for anyone. If you're a Republican, you can vote for Democrat. It doesn't matter in California. But if something was on the ballot,
who in Orange County? I'd like to meet the person in Orange County that
voted for her.
Voted for what's her name?
I actually think it's the way it's chopped up. I think they chopped up Orange County several years ago.
Well, they take
you
like
can
this
look it up,
pocket
but
of Republicans, and they'll carve out.
They carved it out.
Carve
and so
this
she's
out,
like
one
one
so
of
that
two
one
Congress.
district that's all Republican will be carved into 3 pieces, where they're they only have 20%.
Their wedding
And
is
they-
very big.
Because I have big knuckles because of my wrestling and stuff. How about Karen Bass, the mayor of LA?
How about it?
She's great, isn't she?
So pull up Karen Bass.
I like
It's like we're looking at her.
She's fun.
There she is. Oh, she's good. So Karen Bass, she's the LA mayor.
Hmm.
She gave this organization, it's a coalition of human rights of Los Angeles. So they fund riots in LA. So if you ever wonder like who's like paying these people to burn down the city, it's this nonprofit. Here's one of them. And they're in a 25-year lease with no rent, 2,200 square feet, which is nice. And none of it's reported to the IRS or in the 2023 city audit. But what's even funnier is Karen Bass came out and she said that she's going to start issuing prepaid credit cards to people who are too afraid to go to work because of ICE raids. Okay? They don't have to pay the money back. But then she sat there and gloated that the money is not coming from California taxpayers. It's actually coming from nonprofits and NGOs. The one she mentioned was this one, the Coalition of Human Rights of Los Angeles, who received $34 million from, guess who? California taxpayers. Now tell me what's wrong with that scenario. Like, is this a woman of ethical, sound judgment, a woman that should be trusted to run a city?
So for her job so far, and the fires spoke volumes about her leadership. She obviously is not a leader. She doesn't know. I did look it up while you were doing, because I'm like, I don't know how you know this Churla is backing that, and I don't know what this website is, but the #1 backer of the riots is Churla.
No kidding, dude.
I didn't know that.
I do
I was
my
just
research.
backing it up.
So
Yeah,
where's all
I was
that
going to
money
ask
actually
his
coming from?
ChatGPT, but
Can we skip the part where we all are clutching our pearls that this is reality, like in our state? Of course it's a reality. We just went over how historically corrupt like politicians are by nature. Maybe not starting out, but once you get into the game. At this point, if you aspire to be a politician,
You're a very horrible human being.
hold on, this is a fundamental human nature question, because you have to kind of say, I'm the thing that could be the solution here, whether that's right or wrong or bad or good, whatever. But you have to kind of think that as a prerequisite to be the person. I need to represent the people. It's me who is kind of the solution. That doesn't mean taking initiative or being a leader is necessarily like bad human nature. But they're not selling me on we're getting our best and brightest that is actually representing us when the incentives are so screwed up. When you're enriching yourself while you're in office, whether that's because you can either inside trade, make the rules on trading, whether you're skimming the pot on taking money from NGOs or directly from lobbies, whatever it is, right? Half of these people seem so in love with themselves as their own media icons that it's almost to the point where I want public leadership to be on a lottery system where you don't want to have your name called. You're too busy making something. You're too busy producing something. You're too busy coaching something. You're too busy building something. Dang it, I just got jury duty, except I got mayor duty now. We're going to compensate you well, and you don't have to do it again.
it's actually not a terrible idea.
That's actually a better. I'd rather have a lotto. It's just there has to be some qualifications.
There's got to be some. Oh, you
'Cause,
know what?
like,
I know you would say that, right? There has to be
My
some
retarded
qualifications.
cousin Johnny, he's like
You
the
know
mayor.
what?
and I'm
Have we
like,
gotten to
he's
the point?
drunk.
Yeah, but have we
Right.
gotten to the point where the bar is low enough to where we
I
kind
think
of
we're
almost
close.
You got to
don't like-
question if why do they really want it? That's crazy. Why do you really want to do that?
They're usually very insecure. They're normally overeducated, and they have this like a lot of them don't even never got jobs in the real world. A lot of them, they go right from college to like some internship to running for office. That's like, and they get picked up by these parties and say, wow, you're well spoken, you have the look or whatever, the background, great resume. Why don't you run for this and then run for that? And they take them under their wing, and that's their little puppet.
Here's what I think. Here's how I do think we have representative government. I think it's mostly a hybrid system. The representative government that we all know kind of exists and is the elephant in the room most of the time it probably plays out like this. You have someone that fits the bill, just like you described. You're a good face, decent orator, aspiring to be a politician, wants some power. The people to write the checks for you to actually pursue office, they say, look, here's our agenda. Here are the top 3, top 4, top 5, top 10 things you cannot negotiate. These are non-negotiables. The rest of it, do your thing. Here are your checks. So when you go in there, these are the things that you're representing. And then those people all get picked as horses. And then it's almost representative government based on the organizations that are paying the lobbyists for these people to be in power. That's what
the lobbyists fund the party and the individuals, but they're really funding a party. And the Democratic Party, which I believe is like the Communist Party at this point, they vote lock and step. They're like an organ because they know they don't say no to their bosses, which is their party or whoever in their elected party who's their leader says, you're going to vote this way on that. You better get in line or we'll get your ass out.
I think that's a recent thing, or do you think
it has been happening for how many years?
Right.
8 years.
Yeah,
The
definitely,
Republicans go back. Some of them are still free and they think and they go each way. But the Democrats locked it down. And why the hell was Bernie Sanders never on the ticket? Why?
But we saw the emails.
So we know it's like they didn't want him. So it didn't matter what the people voted for.
Right.
Hillary Clinton was going to be the person. So when you start seeing stuff like that and the whole Trump thing, I don't care if it's Trump or the other side, you can't be spying on a campaign and making up lies and having the media shove it down everybody's throat for frickin' 4 years. It's just insanity. We're like, eventually everyone's going to snap and be like, dude, who are these people? And let's get them out of office. Doesn't mean we have to go to war. We just go in there and say, everybody, you're coming out. Get the hell out of the building. You're no longer in charge because you destroyed the country. And it's going to take some brave men to go do that. I'm not advocating they do it yet, but if this shit continues, I mean, I think either we do that or we just accept our fate, which is the end of the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency, the destruction of our economy, the takeover by AI and robotics, and serfdom for everybody except those that are in charge. And that sounds crazy, but from the experts, you watch my AI episode, that's going to freaking happen. And this is coming from the guys designing the AI that are scared shitless, that are coming out whistleblowing, to saying 80% of the jobs are going to be gone in 10 years, 80% unemployed. Why do you think they want to depopulate? Why do you think England is locking everybody down? Right now it's going to Canada. Show that clip of in England. Look at it. England's totally fucked. Look at this.
Starting next month, there will be a significant change in how authorities can access your phone. From now on, authorities will be able to review your device at any time without needing prior notice or your permission. This means that your messages, photos, apps, and even private conversations could be checked instantly. To make this possible, AI-powered scanners will be placed in major cities like London, Manchester, and Birmingham. These devices will ensure consistent checks are carried out on mobile phones across the country. It will affect everyone, students, workers, families, and businesses. The goal is to provide a safer environment for all, but it also represents a shift in how privacy is managed. Once access is granted, it won't stop at your phone. Your personal data may be managed differently, and there could be implications for how your information is handled across platforms. This isn't just about mobile phones. It's about redefining privacy, trust, and how our most sensitive information is processed. We're now at a point where personal space is being viewed in a new light.
There's no way that's real. That's not
real.
real.
That can't be.
I don't think he really said that.
You don't think you said that?
No, that would have made a lot more headline news. There's no way. Can we check that? I really don't think he said that. I think that was generated.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I mean, they are doing a lot of stuff with the real ID and the.
Can't they already access? I mean,
They can, everything they can. I mean, look, the Patriot Act destroyed whatever left of the Bill of Rights we had anyway. We don't. I mean, the COVID was a great example of how everything in that book I gave you is really
England
not that.
arrested over 12,500 people for online posts.
No, I know. I agree with that.
They announced universal ID is mandatory
in
to
Europe.
work, to bank,
To
shop,
travel.
to travel. Okay, Russia only had 50 people arrested. At least that's what they say. But the bottom line is, England gave up their guns, and now they've given up their freedom because if they know what's coming down the pipe, they know what's coming down the pipe. You can't have 80% of the population unemployed.
We should grab a couple
You
guys.
just can't. So the only way you do that is by lowering the population numbers, which they've all admitted they want to do, okay? Or you fucking tighten the noose so fucking tight on everybody. If anyone gets out of line, fucking in prison, dead, whatever they need to do, get rid of them. Canada is rolling out. Show the video of Mead. Did you find the video of Mead? Canada has rolled out this medical assisted suicide.
Oh yeah.
Mead. They've killed 58,000 people.
No.
Yes.
No, it's true.
It's true.
58,000
in the last 5 years.
But these are people who want to die.
Okay, no.
Yeah, they are.
Originally, I don't care.
You don't
hold on,
care?
hold on.
You
No
live-
one
you
said that-
terminal cancer.
No,
you're
no, no.
dying.
It started off as terminal, and that's how a lot of the countries are. So if you're terminal and you don't want to go through the chemo and shit, I can kind of understand. If you don't believe like you shouldn't kill yourself and that's not your religion, don't be in pain. Go ahead and kill yourself. I have no problem with that.
Right.
And Sweden and a lot of countries have that. Canada did something a little different. They said mental health is also included now, which means if I'm depressed, my boyfriend broke up with me, or I'm just like my hormones are weird and I'm young and I want to kill myself, they're like, we got to get rid of these people. So they've ratcheted it up, and now they put together a panel to open it up to kids under 18. And they want to do this without parent approval. And it's not in law yet, but they're pushing to that be the next level. And they're doing it, and they actually put together a pamphlet, which we're going to look for and show you, that actually says, hey, it takes 6 weeks to see a therapist, but it only takes 3 weeks to see the doctor for assisted suicide. This is real, where they're like, hey, we're here to help you get through this, and let's just kill yourself.
Well, I mean, Louis C.K. opened up his comedy show at one point saying, congratulations. The only thing we have in common is we didn't kill ourselves today. You know, like everyone, that's the only thing everyone on earth has in common is you didn't kill yourself yet. It was funny when he said it because he did something else. But I mean, it's kind of a little bit of, not to sound harsh here. I mean, kids under 18, definitely, I'm totally against that 110%. But it's kind of survival of the fittest type thing. If people want to kill themselves,
Listen,
I mean, first they're not killing themselves. The government's killing them.
So they have two methods. They have one where they
Where
can
they do
inject
it?
you, or they put a little thing and you
you
take
do
it.
it?
And you
Oh.
kid. There's two different types. But here's the thing. I'm
I
always
just hope I'm never in that state where I have to be. I feel bad for the people. I don't think this is.
well. I
something
hope you
that to be
never are
worried about.
either, because I'm gonna go spiritual. You're here. We're all here on this planet, not to fucking buy Bentleys and go on vacation to Hawaii or get drunk or make lots of money or be a fucking president. We're here for a test for our soul. That's why we're here. This is what I believe. We're here, and everything around you is to distract you from the test of leveling up your soul, your vibration, everything. And if you lose sight of that and you want to check out of the test, you think you're going to pass or fail. It's right there in the Bible. You cannot commit suicide. So who's winning? Who's behind that energy? It's the guy tempting us, the devil. The demons, they're in there saying, yeah, just kill yourself, right? You're not worthy. Let's kill yourself. And it's one extra soul that's not going to elevate. And we're not at the end of times, but we're in the last chapter. And Jim got it right in the last show. I believe we're in the last chapter. Everything that's predicted in end of times is all coming to that direction. Israel, the bark.
I mean, go to the Dark Ages and tell me they were in the last chapter.
They were not, man.
We've been in the
They were
last
not.
chapter. We've been in the last chapter since Jesus walked the earth, because everybody in every generation that wants to be the last one, and we want to see the face of God, and I want to be there when Jesus. It's just like,
I got a cool thing.
It's almost like the environmentalist type thing. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and then you die. It doesn't happen. What'd you lose?
Well, that's
your freedom.
that goes back to my kind of the original question I want to frame it is, is it worse now than it's ever been?
No.
Or has it always been baseline bad and good in certain cycles to where it feels like the end of the world and it feels like we're peaking as a society? Are those things close together? Has that always been a thing? Is anything new? Or should we be alarmists? Is a future approaching us that is a paradigm shift because of technologies like AI, quantum computing? Are those things going to be such a paradigm shift that the consequences will be so much faster and more intense that it will be a different ballgame? If I can just, here's the game I'm playing right now. It's not partisan politics. It's not identity politics. I don't need to sell anybody on my choices being a prescription for like universal living. My choices don't necessarily need to be your choices. I'll hear what you have to say. I may disagree with you. You're free to say whatever you want. You're not free to, prevent me from thinking you're an idiot for saying something or being impressed based on what you're saying. But the game I'm playing right now is, as a dad, I have noticed that my instincts to protect this little kid are subverting a lot of norms that I've otherwise totally accepted. And it bothers me. I'm like, for example, it feels fucking weird to plug my kid into the same schooling system that I went through for a bunch of different reasons.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't instinctually feel right. It feels better. My kid's more well-adjusted, walking through nature, asking me what the sun is, what the trees are, explaining those things.
Yeah.
Healthier, happier, more content, because that is where this kid is getting balanced, than having entertainment be the thing.
But what about socially?
What do you mean?
Benefits of just being with children.
I'm not saying homeschool them and I isolate them. I'm saying the larger theme is my instincts as a human being, as a primate, as a human, are subverting how I would otherwise just accept the world like on its face. And then I'm looking at some of this shit. I'm like, well, if I don't want this kid to be looking at the screen all day and eating these types of food, what am I doing? I need to take better care of myself. But like, what is society doing at large? It's like, okay, well, we're all watching screens and we're like out of control golden retrievers that are eating ourselves to death. The country's never been fatter and less healthy mentally or physically. Those things actually scare the shit out of me a lot more than like impending AI. Like what's happening on a cultural basis to where we're all so entitled, fat, and fucking lazy and don't care about each other. That is actually scaring the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, I think I think, yeah, the AI thing was just kind of a more of a generalization, but for the individual, I joke that I'm happy that I was born when I was, so I don't have to see where this is going, but I somewhat don't, because I see a lot of children, kids, like, I don't know if they're my nephews and stuff, but where I go over and they're 2 or they're 1, they're not even walking yet, and they have a screen in front of them, and some asshole is opening a box and they're going, and they're becoming consumers before they even can talk. I really think there is a level of psychological warfare that's going on right now that I don't know how people are going to keep it together.
Are you talking about my kids?
Your kids kind of did that a little bit.
Also, did you graduate high school in 1996?
97.
I was 98.
I'm so young.
But I was.
I'm so young.
Where were you? 2000?
Didn't I coach you?
I'm so young.
Was that your
but you
wrestling
look
coach?
horrible.
Or no?
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah. At
A
one
little
point.
bit, right?
A little bit.
But yeah,
Hey, Ryan, hold on.
He was a
go back to
tough
what
guy.
you were saying
Yeah.
about if it's more dangerous now, or really that's where you started with this.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people do you know who've died of dysentery?
True.
I mean,
I've known a lot of people who've died. I've known a lot of people who've died of fentanyl.
that's the way. I mean, I guess one can replace the other.
So it's like, this is the question. I'm just trying to frame this in what we all think as, guys that, have been running businesses, having families, have seen the world a little bit. We all grew up around the same time period. Is it worse now? Or do we just think it is?
I've seen too many movies, sci-fi movies, future movies. It's just
All right. I think we were protected a lot.
No,
Like the Make America Great
I
thing
think we
is
were-
like the 80s. If you think about it, we were in that was a dangerous time,
Great
but they made it seem like we were fine. They controlled the force networks out there. We had Ronald Reagan looking like your grandpa. America, everything. We felt good. Give them MTV, give them the circus, let them, look over here while we do this. And we felt safe. Now, that's what I was trying to say with this is like, there's no way of protecting people. Like, you can't, you're just, as
some of the videos,
children, like
we can't believe anything anymore.
you can't believe anything. And now we're faced with the fact of, holy shit, this world is crazy. It's always been crazy. Always been crazy. But now we're right there.
By the time a president was elected back in the day, you didn't hear about it for months, maybe a year. It's like by the time there's no someone's got to come tell you, hey. No, I mean, so like things are like this now, where we're just not equipped for that kind of information overload.
It's so much.
Mike, let me throw something at you based on what you just said. So there's two competing forces. We talked about AI and quantum computing as a paradigm shift in the consequences for the world is going to be much more dangerous than anything we've ever seen just because of the technology acceleration. There's that. And then there's also information diffusion is so it's so spread out now. We have more than 3 cable news channels. You can get it from anywhere. You can get all the information from anywhere. So is it like a going out of business sale where everybody has to sensationalize everything? So everything seems so dangerous because danger sells. We need to pay attention to it because it is a threat. So are those things, I know two things could be true, but are those things, which one is more prominent in your mind? Which one is a bigger like consequential threat?
AI and quantum computing will end humanity. And that's not just me, that's Elon Musk, that's Sam Altman, all the founders, the godfather of AI who developed the first algorithms. They all say the same thing. There's a 20 to 80% chance that they'll wipe out humanity. If I told you there's a 20% chance that you're going to die in my car driving to your hotel tonight, would you get in my car?
No.
I just look at it. The 80s were great because we had just enough technology where we were entertained and it was like memorable. And I think we had great music. And it's just because I was a kid growing up there. I like the 80s. But then we hit the 90s and it's like now we have cell phones and we got this and the internet and the MySpace and Facebook and everybody's connected and everybody's, the entertainment was there and it's like instant stimulation. And now we went from like when I was a kid, I had a remote control for the TV with a wire and I had fucking nine channels to a quantum computer that operates in different dimensions. Okay. A phone that I can ask it any question in the world, pretty much.
Not his.
Except his. And it will answer it perfectly. It can write papers. It can do formulas. It can tell me, write business plans. Information is now free. And now we're in the process where they're all admitting we're moving towards a world where everything's going to be automated and we're going to live in this utopia. But the bottom line is we live in a world right now where everything's created by man. From art to education, my teacher's a human, my doctor's a human. This building's designed and looks, the architect is a human. A human hands built this. A human designed this shirt, made that movie, wrote that script. We're moving into a world where humans are going to be replaced by a new intelligence.
A human created the machine that's created the shirt, that created the desk, that created all this stuff.
It's good. It's basic. I believe we're at the end of times because of that. And if there wasn't the AI quantum computing, and I know it's depressing, and that's why I really feel for my kids because they're going to be in a world that's very, very different. And my daughter's so excited to be an architect, and she's excited to be an architect. What the fuck is she? There's no architects. So it's only going to be a very small class that rules and has money.
I don't know, Mike.
So I'm literally,
I think for our kids' age, I think that they're going to go through a period of where they're going to get paid the premium for being human.
Well, that's
And
Elon said
you
that.
you can go get your, whatever you need. Robots can build it
I think
cheap. Well, you want to pay
basic income. You mean like basic?
No, I mean, if you want some art, you want something, you want architecture, you want that, you're going to pay the human a premium for that.
Oh, you'll say the human
because that's a human created. That will elevate the human.
And I agree with that. I think we're at a point of flux right now. It's like when the light bulb came around or cars replaced. There was this flux point where people were like, "Holy, this is the end of time. Or, what's going on?" It was always so crazy. But I think nature and mankind has a really amazing thing of balancing out.
That's a great point.
I think a pendulum swings.
The automobile, then the computer.
Because we're the old people who are freaking out because we liked MTV when they had videos. But now this is their lives. They see a different reality that we saw, and they're going to be able to adjust. We're still the most amazing things ever created in the universe. I don't think they're going to go away because of a robot.
I disagree. We're not going from a manufacturing economy to an information economy. We're going to.
But we're in the information right now.
Yeah, we're not.
Information is
that's what I'm saying.
We're worthless now. Though,
we move
because you can just find it.
That's what I mean.
Right?
That was it. Yeah.
We moved from this sort of economy to that economy to this economy, but everyone still had jobs.
Right.
There was still purpose. I own a construction company. I own a draftsman company. If my daughter can come in and she owns the company, and I say we're going to build low-income housing or apartments or whatever we're going to build, you can be the architect because she knows what they want to look like, but she doesn't need 5 draftsmen underneath her. She doesn't need an electrical engineer. She doesn't need a civil engineer. AI will do everything. And then when I go out and I want to build it, I can't hire people. I won't compete. my prices will be too high. So I'm gonna buy all the robots that work 24/7. They do it fucking perfect. There's no overtime. There's no injuries. There's no Social Security. So I'm telling you right now, we're headed to a world where there'll be 80% less jobs, and there'll be way less opportunity because you
Hold
have
on
to.
to. I get it, but we're assuming.
It ranges between 3 years and 20 years
But that
from all
assumes-
the experts,
Mike, but-
which is like that, man. Even if it's 20 years, that my daughter will be in that. My kids will be. My youngest will be like graduating college or no.
I get it, but you're not there. That's baking in zero creative destruction. Like,
Well, we need regulation.
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
There's a natural flow of technological advancement, and then new jobs emerge from technological advancement. The question is this the type of tech that is going to advance so quickly
It is.
that
It's a multiplying.
hold on,
It's
we
multiple.
know that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about
We
it.
do because
We don't.
we kind of do.
We
yeah,
do.
I
And
mean,
if you watch my AI episode, we actually talk about the multiplication of the
No
rate
one
of
knows-
advancement.
No one in this room.
are you saying there's
knows-
like there's
Hold on,
a
I'm gonna-
wall that we're gonna hit?
I'm going to tell you what I'm saying. No one in this room knows, nobody, and probably in the country, on the planet, knows what the world is exactly going to look like in 5 or 10 years. We don't. So I'm saying to assume zero rate of creative destruction jobs and what that's going to look like, I don't think it's being calculated to just be pessimistic about what opportunities are going to be created from it. I think there's a high likelihood that, yes, you get like a higher, more concentrated elite class based on these techs. We can talk about that, and I think that's what you're intimating with regulation.
Well,
Maybe.
Well, they in the big beautiful bill that Trump came out with, they said no regulation for AI for 10 years. We need regulation
Because we need to win the race.
because we got to win the race. So the folks over at the World Economic Forum and the leaders of our world, the people that are actually behind banking and all the CEOs are all moving towards that. From Larry Page, all these guys are like, you better get the universal ID or you're out of the society, because they know what's going to happen. They don't know, but they've manifested where the world's going to go. If there's 90% unemployment, we can make this a utopia, but we got to get rid of probably 75% of those people. So we have to lower the birth rate. We have to have people die younger, because otherwise they'll revolt. Now, during that time period of us adjusting the population, we have to have a noose around them. We have to, or we're going to get fucking killed.
Send them to Mars.
But once they're all gone and there's only 10% of the population left, I can live forever at the rate of advancement right now in AI and quantum computing, because they'll figure it out. My doctors are the best. They'll build a mansion for me. I can travel the world. It'll be depopulated, all these stupid people and dirty cities.
ruined by then.
No, it's going to be beautiful, because we're going to rule and live forever in utopia. And this is the only whisper in the back of in their ear is coming from evil. That's the end of the world. That's the end of times. And I know I'm looking at negatively, but every video, every interview that I saw of the people that are actually doing this technology say the same thing. They say the same exact
listen
thing.
to me.
So this isn't like crazy Mike.
I'm not saying, no one's saying you're crazy.
I'm just saying we need to be
Listen,
aware.
the lizard cabal of demigods that will rule us all could be a real thing. There's plenty of stuff to pick confirmation bias out of the ether to do all these things. I will tell you this, look, as just a baseline dude, I coincidentally read 1984 for whatever reason, like
Don't
during
ever do
COVID.
that again. We wanted to be a surprise.
It
We
did
want to be a
freak- I'm
surprise.
not- look, yeah.
Well, did you see some similarities?
Of course it fucking freaked me out, dude. Of course it fucking freaked me out. I didn't want to have a TV in my house after that. The other thing, too, we haven't talked about it, and it's irresponsible for us not to talk about it. What role does fucking these robots have in the nerds that are building them for the future? Because we mentioned the 80s. Do you guys remember Weird Science?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing.
Now we're here
Yeah.
where they're about to do it. What does that do?
No. They're
Well,
China.
that's like, that was the internet, Ryan. I mean, come on, that was the internet.
Well, like
Was-
Elon Musk said it. They asked how long until there are cyborgs. You hear when he said that?
No.
How long? And he goes, we already have cyborgs. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, put this down for 24 hours. As you think cyborg is like Terminator, it's in you. No, This is attached to you. Just because you can put it down for 5 minutes doesn't mean you're not a cyborg.
It's
You're
just
a
a
cyborg.
slower connection
And
rate.
he even posted today. He's like, get into your robot that could drive you home, or a robot shaped like a car. That's what he said.
Yeah,
This is
but
Tesla.
dude, I'm talking about plugging in.
No.
Bill, you're talking about like an Atrix?
But Elon Musk is pushing. He says he talks out both sides of his ass. So he says AI is going to destroy the world. It's probably going to wipe out.
Yeah, so he's going to Mars.
But we should put chips in your brain.
No.
Yes.
No, he's
What do you think Neuralink
the
is, dude?
Neuralink that he's doing is doing extremely good things for people who are paraplegic or can't talk.
They
or
say
can't
that's
breathe.
how it starts.
That's how it
Good.
starts.
It's going to help you.
like
We're
the
going
way
to
it
help
started.
What are
you.
you talking about? You
What do you-
carry around the cell
He
phone.
said, we're
It
so
tracks
we
you.
are
You
so screwed.
willfully carry your chip around.
Airbud?
You don't need to get it implanted in your brain or in your. You willfully carry it around.
He says the only way that we're going to survive is if we merge with AI. Okay.
Okay.
You know how scary
the
that is?
inevitability,
I would
though.
like
no,
to
that,
know
no, it
everything.
is not.
Of
That
it.
that
It's
is.
like-
He's gonna be all. You're gonna be like the retard walking around with your ChatGPT.
I don't want. I think we
in
try to
your
slow
head.
it down.
Your guy won't even tell you the truth. You want him in your brain?
I tried. Now I'm like, wait a minute.
Dude,
Now I
what
tried.
if your
I tried.
ChatGPT was controlling your mind? And you're talking about
It's trying to.
viruses and control. And if something was so smart, if AI was like an ant and a human, am I gonna let that ant tell me what to do? Or that monkey or that cat? Like
Or that mice and that
or that-
elephant.
Yeah, but seriously, they're gonna overcome us, and there'll be stages. They'll be like, oh, put this in your brain, and you can just think it, and your TV goes on. And
We're flooded with information, though. But what about people who just don't have access to all the information? So
There's a lot of the world that is
that's
not
the
connected.
majority of the world, Anthony. Right? Is that
Yeah,
come on? Can we agree on that?
Yeah,
Africa.
but didn't they drop cell phones on an Amazonian tribe, and all the kids were jerking off?
They
and
were
shit?
jerking off the porn.
well, I want to thank
But,
you,
yeah.
you guys for coming on. Anthony, you're way better than Jim.
Thanks. I didn't. I tried not to curse.
Ryan, thank you so much for driving from San Diego.
Thank you for having me.
Jeremy. Thank you so much for coming, man.
Thank you, man. Always fun.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Evil does not come with horns and flame. It smiles in daylight, wears a name. It moves through hearts that crave control, whispering lies that sound like goals. The proud and power-hungry kneel, unknowingly servants of what they feel. The serpent's tongue is smooth and sweet, its poison hidden, its charm complete. The world grows darker while claiming light. Truth is traded for endless nights. The weak are lured by silver dreams. The greedy rule through twisted schemes. In temples built of glass and gold, the sacred fades, the hearts grow cold. The devil laughs in the marketplace. His mark is profit, pride, and face. But not all sleep beneath his reign. Some souls still burn through shadow's chain. The ones who walk with God can see the veil that blinds humanity. Their spirit forged in holy fire will stand when others first expire. The war they wage is not of skin, but truth and faith shall dwell within. Awake, you child of the light, for dawn will come, but not without a fight. Let love be the sword and truth your flame. Lift high the cross, proclaim his name. Though evil hides in every guise, it trembles when the faithful rise. The dark may whisper, tempt and plot, but God still reigns, and we forgot not.